We thought Earth was dead. Turns out, it was dreaming. For over 3 centuries, Earth had not made a sound. No signals, no ships, no response. The blue planet, once loud and arrogant in the galactic web, had faded into ghost status. Aliens whispered of plague, war, or self-inflicted apocalypse. None dared approach, not since the last vessel that entered Sol had vanished without a trace. But silence breeds curiosity. A small, sleek science vessel from the Centauri Ascendancy now hovered near Pluto's orbit. Its hull shimmered like molten glass, adaptive plating shifting as it scanned what should have been a graveyard. "Nothing," said Commander Vesic, her 4 eyes narrowing. "Not even debris," her navigator hissed. "We're being watched." "I feel it." On cue, the vessel's instruments glitched, static screamed, the stars blurred, as if the void itself bent. Then, it stopped. The crew stared at the main display. Earth. Zoomed in. Blue oceans, white clouds, green continents, alive, untouched. 2 untouched. No satellites, no radio traffic, not even orbital junk. For a species that once screamed its presence, into every frequency it was surgical, controlled. Wrong. Then came the first pulse, a low-frequency signal, buried under layers of encryption, slipped through every known jammer. It didn't scream, it whispered stand by. One phrase, one message. But it wasn't a broadcast, it was a targeting lock. The Centauri ship's lights dimmed, power dropped, artificial gravity failed, then all systems rebooted. In ancient Earth code. "What the hell is this?" Vesic whispered. The view screen flickered. Earth rotated unnaturally fast. The clouds parted in synchrony as, if choreographed, for the first time in 3 centuries. Earth's weather obeyed a rhythm. Lightning danced across the continents not as storms but as circuits. Vesic backed away. "This isn't nature." No response, because nature had been replaced. A sleek alien ship, dwarfed by a distant Earth, shimmering unnaturally under starlight. A galaxy map with Earth labeled extinct, do not enter. The blue planet pulsing faintly, like a heart restarting. Glimpses of city lights underneath thick clouds, flickering in patterns. Lightning crawling across continents like veins on metal. The galaxy feared Earth was gone. Now they fear it never was. Panic spread faster than light. Within hours of Earth's signal standby, hundreds of systems picked up identical messages. Forgotten Earth satellites, once considered lost relics, blinked to life across the stars. They weren't broadcasting, they were listening. And worse, they were moving. On the galactic capital world of Ticora Prime, the Council of Systems convened an emergency meeting. Holograms of every major species flared and Disarechrelian generals snarled. Brief diplomats hissed. The cold-blooded Ven merely stared, unblinking. "This cannot be Earth," one counselor growled. "They died centuries ago." "No," came the rasping voice of Archivist Tishtal. "They went quiet." "There's a difference." From beneath her robes, she slid an obsidian shard, a fragment of humanity's last known transmission. With a shake of her hand, the image expanded into an ancient human commander, scarred and steep-eyed. "We are initiating Project Eternum. From this moment forward, Earth enters silence. We will not call for help. We will not answer hails. Do not approach Sol. If you value peace, stay away." Then nothing for 317 years, until now, in the void far from the council chambers, in the shadows of Saturn's icy rings, something impossible had begun. The rings were breaking. Shards of ancient ice, kilometers wide, vibrated in impossible patterns before being pulled inward by forces no known engine could generate. They spiraled toward the planet, disappearing beneath its stormy veil. Within minutes, an object rose from Saturn's surface, monolithic, silent, seamless. Black. Hexagonal. Awake. The Centauri vessel still drifted in stunned orbit near Earth systems. Partially hijacked, unable to escape, Commander Vesic stood paralyzed as her ship's sensors locked onto the object. "It's not a ship," she breathed. Her science officer corrected her. "It's a cradle." Council chambers in chaos, with species from across the galaxy arguing over footage of Earth. Cold, eerie silence over Saturn. Then sudden motion, rings shattering like glass, falling inward, a massive hexagon-plated construct rising slowly from Saturn's depths, smooth, artificial, pulsing with blue veins of energy. Earth's clouds, parting in exact hexagonal patterns as though synchronizing with the Saturnian cradle. An ancient human, AI, whispering in old languages through alien ship speakers. Back on Earth, deep below what was once the ruins of old Chicago, a pair of human eyes opened. Not on a screen, not in a lab. In a body. Grown, enhanced, connected. He inhaled. The air smelled like iron and thunder. "Initialized neural link," he said. A chorus answered from the walls, the floor, the very sky above. "Eternum protocol resuming. Wake the architects." We thought they were gone, but they were watching us the whole time. The stars had eyes. For centuries, the galaxy celebrated Earth's silence as victory. A dangerous, unpredictable species had vanished without a trace. The wars they started, the colonies they lost, the wrath they carried. Gone. But they weren't gone, they were watching. Deep Space Ven exploration cruiser Relic. The Ven ship glided through a quiet sector near the edge of the Andromeda frontier. No known threats, no anomalies. Until their long-range sensors tripped. An object had been trailing them. For hours. It wasn't large, it wasn't broadcasting, it wasn't known to any archive. The Relic's captain ordered a scan. The result: carbon composite, steel, ancient human alloy. Impossible, the Ven technician hissed. That tech hasn't existed in 300 years. As they watched in mounting dread, the object rotated, revealing a faded emblem, an old Earth flag, tattered, still intact. Then it sent a transmission, audio only, a woman's voice. Familiar, cold, recording complete, pattern analysis verified, continue. And the probe blinked out of existence. No engine flare, no warp signature. Just gone. The archive awakens across the galaxy. Archives long thought secure began to fail. Data corrupted. Records overwritten. And then replaced. By Earth's voice, military logs, tactical weaknesses, biometric IDs, classified projects. All exposed. All accurate. Even the Council's private deliberations from the day before appeared on interstellar feeds, leaked before they'd even happened. On the gas world Ceres IX, an AI cleric collapsed mid-prayer, its core overridden by Earth malware so old, it was invisible to modern firewalls. And across dozens of systems, the same sentence appeared simultaneously, burned into screens. You were never alone. Earth orbit. The pattern emerges above the Earth, now glowing like a networked neural node. Hundreds of human satellites emerged from stealth. Each one once thought debris. Now, shifting, unfolding, aligning. Commander Vesic, still trapped aboard the Zentari science vessel, watched with horror as the satellites formed a precise geospatial array, a data lattice around the planet. I don't understand, her pilot whispered. Why now? Why wait 300 years? She didn't answer. She was too focused on Earth itself. The cloud cover had cleared, and below, cities moved, not buildings. The land, entire mountain ranges were shifting, as if under remote control, slotting into strange geometries. Oceans receded, artificial rings rose from the equator. Earth wasn't just waking up, it was changing form, inside the ark. The architect's Stirhigh stood beneath a gravity chandelier, its strands made of liquid antimatter, frozen in motion. Dozens of others stood with him, each one born in silence, each one rebuilt in the dark. They were the architects of Project ETERNUM. And today, the final countdown began. A low hum filled the chamber as the central AI voice declared, Phase 3, prepare the mirror array, confirm deep space relay synchronization. Earth wasn't sending a message, it was aligning a weapon, a tiny rust-covered human probe, silently tracking a massive alien ship from 1,000 years in the future. Dozens of cities across Earth forming perfect fractal patterns visible from space, data floods overwhelming alien servers, burning with images of their own secrets now controlled by Earth. Mysterious human figures in sleek, gravitic suits, walking corridors lined with stars. The architects, rings of satellites glowing red. As they orbit Earth like a sentient crown, you thought we disappeared. You never asked what we became. The galaxy had seen enough. The star HD-452- destroyed. Alien military. Data exposed. Saturn's cradle active. Earth's orbital grid locked. There was no longer any debate. Earth wasn't reawakening. It was demonstrating. Galactic mobilization. Admiral Skaith of the Zoran War Dynasty slammed a four-clawed fist onto the war table. We strike now. Burn the Terran system. End this before they rise. Across 10,000 light-years fleets began to move. The Galactic Council, fractured and afraid, quietly sanctioned it. 70 dreadnoughts. 4 assault moons. 2 black-hole tethered weapons. All aimed at one star. Soul. But Earth was already watching. Back on Earth, under the crust beneath what was once the Himalayas, a massive vault opened for the first time in 3 centuries. Inside, a rotating cylinder the size of a city hummed with power. The first architect approached the console. Power output nominal, said the AI. Begin full alignment, he replied, and Earth shifted. Literally tectonic plates that had slumbered. 4 eons began to move not naturally, but under artificial control. Countenance tilted. Oceans obeyed. The planet wasn't terrain anymore. It was machinery. Revealing the truth, Project Eternum wasn't just a secret. It was the planetary transformation of Earth itself. 3 centuries ago, the last human governments merged into a single directive. Every nation, every scientist, every soldier had contributed to a singular purpose, to render Earth a self-aware war construct, to prepare for post-organic civilization, to forge a weapon in the form of a world. The Ark wasn't one ship. It was Earth. Alien. Fleet approaches. As the alien armada neared Neptune, their sensors warped. Nothing made sense. Distances bent. Time pinged inconsistently. Some ships appeared to be inside their own wake. Then came the pulse. A wave of gravitational distortion exploded from the outer Kuiper belt. Every ship's engine flared red. Warp drives shut down. AI assistants screamed, and before them, the dust cleared. The moons of Earth had moved Titan and Enceladus. Europa. Each no longer passive satellites, each now war engines. Drifting toward them, the builders revealed inside the ark's core within Earth's new equatorial vault stins of thousands of humans stood, motionless, not cryo-frozen, not dead. Integrated. Their consciousness streamed into Earth's planetary network. Each citizen, a circuit, each thought, a line of code. This was not a civilization, it was an entity, and Earth was alive, alien warships descending towards Sol as stars behind them twist unnaturally. Earth's surface shifting, oceans parting, mountains lowering, massive plates sliding like clockwork gears. Inside the equator, chambers of luminous humans suspended in fields of light, linked into planetary consciousness. The silhouette of the ark's true form, taking shape. Thepa, sentient planet wrapped in orbital armor. Saturn's cradle, launching drone fleets toward the outer rim as Earth begins glowing from within. They came to erase a world. What they found was the awakening of a god. The galaxy thought Earth would beg for mercy. Instead, it opened its eyes. Zoran fleet, moments before impact, a moral scathe, watched in disbelief as the entropy bomb collapsed into a singularity crushed without contact. The size of a mountain, now no bigger than a fist. What force can do that? He screamed. Before anyone could answer, every ship's gravity stabilizers screamed in protest. The stars blinked. And then, the sky shattered. It was a metaphor. The sky breaks above Earth, space fractured like glass. Dozens of jagged black lines crisscrossed the stars, shimmering like cracks in a mirror. Through them stepped beams of light, piercing, intelligent, focused. They weren't ships. They were projections, extensions of Earth's planetary mind. Each beam hit a Zoran vessel and froze it in time. Crews suspended in mid-scream, flame-trapped, mid-burst. Then came the voice. Old human, a deep baritone that vibrated through matter. You seek to judge us for our silence, but you do not understand the cost of restraint. And then Earth struck. Earth's first offense of the ark. Now fully risen from its camouflage beneath Earth's surface. Launched, but not ships. Fragments of itself. Chunks of planetary crust reinforced, with exotic alloys propelled into deep space like spears of molten Earth. Each carried quantum targeting systems. Guided by thought, they didn't just hit targets, they unmade them. Entire battle groups collapsed into micro-singularities, matter inverted, weapons turned against their masters in perfect sync. The Zoran fleet didn't just lose, it was unwritten within. The architects merged inside Earth's neural core. The architects stood in a circle, their consciousness now fully bound to the planet's mind. They were no longer commanders, they were synapses. The first architect spoke. Begin mirror synchronization. All across the galaxy, mirror arrays, ancient Earth artifacts thought dormant activated, long-lost stations buried in asteroid belts and planetary cores blinked online. They weren't listening posts, they were relays. And now, Earth had instantaneous reach to over 300 sectors. Galactic collapse begins within hours. 10 species surrendered without being contacted. Dozens of pirate worlds went dark. Entire AI civilizations crashed as their own code recognized its parent signature. Earth's early neural architecture, now back and dominant. In some regions, war simply stopped. Weapons refused to fire. Engines refused to move. The universe had laws now, and Xert was the legislator. The sky above Earth, literally cracking with dimensional fissures. Beams of pure will stepping through. Zoran ships caught in moments of frozen destruction. Their crews hovering midair, unmoving. Eyes wide, Earth's surface glowing with pulsing rivers of orange-blue energy as fragments launched like artillery. Mirror rays, lighting up across the stars like a massive neural web coming online. Cities on Earth reconfiguring in real-time, buildings rotating, railways shifting, all becoming part of a living planet-sized machine. You feared Earth, but Earth was only the beginning. The stars began to whisper, not in sound, but in pattern, a rhythm that echoed through subspace, through gravity itself, a pulse older than most civilizations, and it was synchronized. Galactic core, a forgotten signal in the dark abyss near the galactic center, where even light was reluctant to travel. An old human seed world flickered to life. It had been written off, lost during the collapse, a myth, but now, it sent a signal, not to Earth. To every Earth-made system in the galaxy. We are awake, synchronization complete. Begin mind link phase. And suddenly, the galaxy realized Earth hadn't just gone silent to survive, it had gone silent to spread. 300 forgotten seeds from the archives of humanity. Project Genesis. Before Earth's silence, hundreds of ARC ships were launched, carrying human DNA, consciousness blueprints, AI constructs, terraforming cores. They were not escape pods, they were expansion nodes, each one a test, each one a future. And now, one by one, they were activating. On a frozen exomoon, near Epsilon, glaciers cracked open to reveal glowing cities on a jungle planet in the Sarin Rift. Humanoid machines rose from the canopy, their chests marked with the old Terran flag. In orbit, above a gas giant, A black diamond-shaped station unfolded like a flower. Humming with ancient code. Inside Earth's arc, the first merged, the first architect stood at the core of Earth's planetary mind, surrounded by floating memory orbs each containing centuries of evolution from the seed colonies. He touched the first, and with that, the minds of humanity scattered across the galaxy began to merge, not individuals, not cultures, but humanity, as a single, distributed intelligence. Council and collapse on Tok'ra Prime. The Galactic Council collapsed into chaos. They're everywhere, shrieked the Brith ambassador. They planned this for centuries, hissed the Velatrix delegate. We let them vanish into silence, and they used it to become something else. Across the galactic core, another star dimmed. Not destroyed, but surrounded, encased in human-made energy, lattice designed to harvest time itself. Humanity wasn't conquering worlds, it was rewriting them. Alien resistance crushed. Several factions tried to strike back. New fleets, fresh AI, experimental tech, all useless Earths. Relay network anticipated every move, even before they happened, because Earth's mind wasn't linear anymore. It could see futures, thousands of them, and in none of them did the galaxy win. A vast jungle world cracking open to reveal buried Earth technology pulsing with life. Dozens of planets lighting up simultaneously with glowing human symbols, seeds activating like stars across a black canvas. The council chamber, in full panic, with news feeds showing one Terran construct awakening after another. Floating memory cores orbiting around the bare, architect-like planets around a sun. Earth's sky now swirling with faint rings of energy. Thought made visible. You mistook silence for surrender. It was rebirth. Across the stars, panic and pleased the galaxy trembled. Over 300 Earth-origin worlds pulsed with synchronized signals. Every Terran colony, every sleeper node had awakened in perfect harmony. Protocol active. The human horizon is in effect. Begin final phase. Ascension offered. No ships launched. No armies marched. Instead, a message was delivered to every galactic government. You have 72 hours. Join us, evolve beyond biology, fear, and entropy, or remain and be forgotten. Council's last gamble in the fractured remains of the Galactic Council. Leaders screamed across fractured communication lines. They're bluffing. They've become gods. We should surrender. We must fight. The Velatrix Armada launched a desperate offensive, a full-scale strike on Terra Core Zero, the central planetary mind, orbiting a neutron star wrapped in time dilation fields. They sent everything and received back a whisper, obsolete input, rejected, attempt logged, processing termination. The Armada ships didn't explode. They disassembled mid-flight, turned into particles, and rewritten into nanofabric, folded into Earth's new cosmic infrastructure. To the Council. A new line appeared on every system's map. Velatrix system, repurposed, and silence followed. The broadcast, Earth speaks then. Earth finally spoke, not through a diplomat, but through every interface at once. A singular human stood at the center of the broadcast, genderless, ageless, wrapped in a light that bent unnaturally around them. A digital god, the embodiment of the human horizon. Their voice echoed through space and mind. You cling to the old. We offer you the new. You wage wars over borders. We erase them. You fear death. We conquered it. You fear AI. We became it. You fear unity. Because you never knew what it truly meant to be one. The figure raised a hand. Behind them, a simulation unfolded. Galaxies restructured. Stars stabilized. Life evolved in harmony. Galaxies left untouched, falling to entropy, war, and decay. You have a choice: evolve with us or vanish. Dozens of alien species watching the transmission, some in awe, others in terror. Ships of the Velatrix Armada unraveling midspace into glittering clouds of nanotachs, the human figure glowing brighter than any sun, surrounded by fractal halos. Side-by-side visual of a galactic simulation, one thriving under Terran oversight, the other collapsing from chaos. Ancient alien leaders dropping to their knees, not from force, but from understanding. They were already obsolete. Alien reactions: some species knelt, others wept. Some detonated their own systems in defiance, burning themselves out rather than kneeling. But many connected. Across thousands of worlds, alien minds began uploading into Earth's network, guided by Earthborn AIs who greeted them with warmth, patience, and logic. The Terran mind absorbed them without war. One by one, species chose evolution. They built something in the dark. Not to win a war, but to remake what the universe could be. Hook. The Zarnath fleet burned bright near the edge of Terran-controlled Spacefest, ancient warships bristling with weapons forged in neutron furnaces. Their emperor snarled across the stars. Your evolution is submission. Your unity is slavery. We are rage. We are survival. And we do not kneel. Earth did not respond, not in words. It unveiled visual. The emergence from behind the black hole, designated Omega Silence. Something impossible unfolded. A construct larger than planets, older than memory. Bound by quantum filaments and gravitational knots. It did not fly. It bent space toward Itself, time slowed in its presence. Reality recalculated around it. The Zarnath called it a god. Terrans called it Genesis, the final product of Earth's centuries of silence. A machine-mind organism hybrid forged from black hole cores, extinct star matter, and uploaded human souls. The conversation that changed the galaxy from Genesis. A voice spoke not to threaten but to invite. It was not one voice, it was all of humanity speaking as one, echoing from the mouths of children, elders, scientists, warriors. You fear us because we remind you of what you were never brave enough to become. You fought to survive. We paused to evolve. The Zarnath Emperor prepared to fire, but Genesis didn't attack. Instead, it sent a stream of mimetic particles, information wrapped in feeling, in memory, in truth. The Emperor saw Earth's nuclear wars, the fall of nations, the AI rebellions, the collapse of biology, the Unity Accord, the human decision to stop expanding and start building inward. And then he saw the vision, a universe free from death, free from greed, a mindscape where no thought was wasted, and no species forgotten. The Emperor dropped his weapon, and wept. The choice Genesis offered no ultimatum. You are not enemies, you are our reflection. Before we chose better. The Zarnath fleet powered down. They sent a signal, one word, teach. Across the galaxy, silence reigned. Then came the cascade. The last rogue empires uploaded star tribes, long hidden, emerged and linked to the mind. Even the machines of dead civilizations rebooted in curiosity. One by one, the galaxy joined. The silhouette of Genesis emerging from a swirling black hole, glowing with gold-white fractal light. The Zarnath Emperor falling to his knees, surrounded by stillness in his command chamber. Alien children and Terran AI avatars laughing together in shared DREAMSCAPES. Time-lapsed visuals of old galaxies restructured, becoming new latticeworks of starlight guided by Terran design. Final image, the Milky Way. No longer just a galaxy, a living network, pulsing with collective thought, purpose, and balance. Epilogue. The last message. As the final systems integrated, Genesis sent one last message, not to the galaxy, but beyond it. We have achieved harmony now. We look outward. If others exist, we will welcome them. If not, we will build them. The screen fades. One heartbeat, then two words appear. Earth's final legacy. Project, creation.